EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present opening round coverage of the Open Championship. Welcome to the Open Championship, the oldest major in golf. Frank, there really is nothing quite like it. The old course at St. Andrews combined with the Open Championship, it's bathed in history.
The golf course is magnificent. It just reeks of all the great players that have played the game. Pick your hero, whether it's a Bobby Jones, a Nicklaus, a Rory Mcilroy, a Tiger Woods. All the greats have been there and played this marvellous course. It stood the test of time. And even the routing, the old 9 holes out, turn around and 9 holes in. It's marvellous.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, it's one thing to make good contact. It's another to make a good decision in terms of what club to hit.
Yes, so often people want to try and hit the ball the exact number. But if that flag is right on the front, you have all that green behind it. You can use all of that. There's nothing in the game that says, maybe I should just take another club and make sure that I'm putting. Too often people only look purely at where that flag is.
Wouldn't say that was his best, but not bad either, on the green and with a putt. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Getting set now over the putt. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed. Even par, currently.
Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. And let's go down to the 6th. Early in the round and playing reasonably well. Nothing great, but has certainly not given a whole lot away.
Yeah, and actually a good position to really springboard the round from here.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Could use this one. This is for par.
Still even par for the day. Over the ball here at the 7th. And Frank, if you had to script a game plan here, what would it look like?
You could drive this pretty close to the green. This is a green that's shared with the 11th, the par 3. And you won't see that tee shot finish, but you can actually drive very, very close to a bunker called the shell, which is the one that protects the par 3 11th.
Just making it look easy. Picks the spot, sees it, and then hits it. All day long. Hasn't missed a fairway. Good swing, good shot yet again. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. He'll take par and move on. Par 3 8th hole here at the Open Championship. And Frank, why is it so difficult to get the ball close here?
Well, there's the bunker on the left side. There's a little bit of a downslope there. This is the first par 3 that you'll play, and it's just tough to judge that distance perception. You've really got to be accurate on your yardage here.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Good job right there. Now making a move and setting himself up for, who knows, a good weekend run, maybe at another title. The former college standout has been excellent today. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Frank, in the changing weather conditions, players have so many different options, don't they? Some might like to play it high, others might want to play it a little lower along the ground.
You've really got to be on your toes today because of that, Rich, and really that's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. You know that any mistake you make can obviously be magnified by the wind conditions, but conversely, it's a real good chance for skill to shine. It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Stays at 1 under with that par. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present second round coverage of the Open Championship. Back here at the Open Championship on the 7th hole here at the old course.
Yeah, blind tee shot. This is one hole that really does advantage the long hitter. They can get it very close to this green, but this green has got some amazing undulations in it.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Wow, I thought he made that. Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. It just, you feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
That's good work. That's good par right there. Frank, now at the par 3 8th, and how challenging is this hole?
Well, it's called short on the scorecard, but massive green. The problem here is trying to hit it close. A lot of little subtle breaks and undulations in this green, and often you see long birdie putts here. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Settles in over the putt. Continues to putt beautifully. Rounding out the opening 9 here at St. Andrews. And Frank, this par 4 features a couple of fairway bunkers that players will have to contend with.
Yeah, this hole, a fun hole when you first stand on that tee and look at it. You see those bunkers smack bang in the middle of the fairway. The last bunker there in the middle is called the end hole. This hole is called the end. But this green, too, is so flat, very, very difficult to read. But if you get there, pull the head cover off the driver. Remember, this is the only chance you get to play the old course.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Frank, you think about the great rivalries in sports, the Yankees and the Red Sox, Ollie and Frazier, and in golf, Nicklaus and Palmer. Great athletes, great teams pushing one another to great heights.
It's amazing how that's gone forward too, because Nicklaus and Palmer really became Nicklaus and Watson. Then there was like Norman Faldo, but some would say that Faldo Ballesteros, 6 majors to 5, was even more important. But in this era that we're in now, I think we're all praying for that Woods-McIlroy rivalry. Woods with 14 majors, McIlroy already with 4. That really is one to salivate over.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
That is a solid par putt. So we're getting set now for the second 9 here at the old course at St. Andrews. And Frank, a chance to get off to a good start here with the short par 4 10th?
Yeah, it's a very subtle hole. It just looks straight ahead in front of you, but there is gorse down the left if you stray, especially into a head breeze. But really, it's drivable for most of the players. Just got to worry about those 2 bunkers. There's a sort of short right of the green. You finish up there, then this hole becomes a little more difficult.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. That was not a very good read right there. And getting ready for the putt. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Down to the par 3 11th, and Frank, what's the key here?
Well, this green is slightly elevated. Huge false front, sort of left and right of that Strath bunker. And, of course, that bunker on the hill, or should I say that bunker on the left, is called Hill. That's the famous bunker where Bobby Jones couldn't get out of it many years ago and actually ripped up his scorecard. So a good tee shot here, just find that right level where the flag is.
Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. And he's made it onto the green. So a tester from 4 feet. In for par. Frank, from this vantage point here at the 12th, you can see why the old course, St. Andrews, are so iconic in the sport.
Yeah, this is a fun hole as we start to sort of head back to the village of St Andrews. Hole's called Heathery. There's a big crop of heather on the left, and there's 4 little pot bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway, so you've really got to be cognizant of those. But good time to take the head cover off if you're a long hitter, and then you've only got to worry about that one pot bunker just short of the green.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just a lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Third round coverage comes your way tomorrow on EA Sports. For Frank Nobilo and our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the RNA are proud to present third round coverage of the Open Championship. Frank, what are we looking at here at the famed par 3 11th at the Old Course?
Well, the most difficult, there is only 2 par 3s here at the Old Course, and this one's called High, elevated green, and you've got to fly that bunker that protects the front of the green. That's called the Strath bunker. You really take anything on this green. You make a 2 here, you'll make a move on the field.
This won't hurt him, Frank.
Just a little left of the flag. That's fine.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, that's disappointing. He misses the par putt, and he'll have this for bogey. Just 5 feet left. Pretty good putt, Frank. Just didn't quite read it correctly.
Yeah, would have certainly liked that to go in. Even par, currently.
Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This case of anything that could go wrong, not just probably, it did. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. He just missed the bunker.
Rich, one of the problems with the 12th hole is the severity of these ridges on the green. If you've got a pitch shot or a short shot coming in here, not only do you have to get the distance right, but you've got to get the right spin on the ball, whether it kicks forward or you want it to stop.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he thought, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Frank, where is that thing?
Well, thank God for small mercies.
Moving on now to the par 4 13th. Frank, what's the strategy here?
Once again, to avoid those pot bunkers, the first one is called nicks, and then the other two up ahead, once again, they're called the coffins. Somehow you've got to go right or left of those or beyond those. If you can go in the exact right position, which is slightly left center, you will actually have a full view of this green. The left or right of that, then it's a blind second shot.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. They'll take it. That's a par. Frank, the 14th is a big par 5, chance to make a big move, but also possibility of making a big number if you're not careful.
Yeah, you've got to be very aware of the out of bounds on the right side, even though it does move to the right. Ideal tee shot is down the right side that gets very close to that, because then that opens up the second shot and keeps that tee shot away from that crop of bunkers called the birdies. There's a big cross bunker up ahead that has to be avoided for the second shot. If you're long enough, you can reach this par 5 and 2, but this green with so many undulations that it is anything other than flat. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Has 100 yards left. I really love the caddies at St. Andrews, wisecracking old-timers. Guy hits a shot hard into a gorse bush on the left, and he turns to the caddy and says, "Is that okay?" And the caddy says, "Does it look okay?" Hit another one. Another instance, guy was stuck between two clubs. 6-iron, 7-iron, 6-iron, 7-iron, back and forth. Finally, he chose the 7-iron, hit it about 15 yards in the ground, and the caddy looked at him and said, "I guess we'll never know, laddie, will we?"
Well, that's a smart shot. A lot of people would have tried to be a little more heroic from there, but there was no need.
Back on the fairway, back in play. Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
Solid play, heart of the green.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
Frank, one of the things I always loved about links golf is that you're not aiming at a flagstick or a tree. but sometimes you're aiming for a steeple in the distance, and this is a good example here at the 15th.
Yeah, the church steeple is the exact line off the tee. That gives you sort of the centre of the fairway. Really, you don't have to be overly bold off the tee. This is about just finding a nice flat lie for that second shot, because this is another difficult green that's well protected by just one little bunker that's in the front left that you don't think comes into play. But if your second shot doesn't land the right distance, more often than not, it just gets swallowed up by that.
Good, clean contact and a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie.
Oh, I thought he had that. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
In for par. Well, Frank, how do you begin to sum up what we've seen at the birthplace of golf today? The course, the scenery, the weather, the play. It was really all vintage St. Andrews.
Absolute pleasure to play the old course once again, Rich. You can see how technology might have changed it. There's a few more par fours that are reachable these days for the longer hitters, but still, it's a great memory of where golf started, where it is now, and where it's going to be.
And with that, for my colleague Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner for EA Sports saying so long from Scotland. EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present final round coverage of the Open Championship. Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Here now the second shot, 100 yards away. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Looks like he just misread that. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
I know what they were looking at.
Just a couple of feet. Frank, this is just an embarrassing performance.
There's no crying in golf, Rich.
Frank, another famous hole, this time the par 311.
Yeah, this hole was made famous by the left bunker, which is called the Hill, where Bobby Jones, when he first played St Andrews, couldn't get the ball out of the bunker, so in the end he actually ripped up his scorecard. A lot's changed since then, but the hole hasn't lost its luster.
Mishit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
Well, he's on the green, but still plenty of work left. About a 25-footer coming up. Par attempt here.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Losing a bit of ground now in this tournament. With the bogey, falls to 2 over. Now at the 12th, and Frank, when you put the peg in the ground here, are you licking your chops?
Well, you are, unless you're playing into a head breeze, because if you are playing a head breeze, then you've got to worry about the 4 bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway. Touch of help, or if you're a long hitter, then all you've got to do is worry about that little pot bunker just short of this green. There's Gorse left and right. He needs a sort of miracle putt.
Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways.
He'll need to be strong with this. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Now to the par 4 13th, and again, Frank, it's all about avoiding the bunkers.
Yeah, another hole that forces you to go either right or left of something that you can see. The 2 bunkers called the coffins right up ahead. You can also go beyond those, and if you do, then you've got a much shorter shot in, but you've got to avoid those fairway bunkers. They are very costly.
Long and accurate. That's how you win in this game. 325 yards in the fairway. Uh-oh, this one's going left, Frank. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
8-foot putt here. That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey. Drop shot here at the 13th. Trying to limit the damage here. This putt is for bogey. Bit unfortunate. Loses a shot here with that bogey. Frank, what are we looking at here at the big par 5 14th?
Out of bounds on the right, and those little series of pop bunkers called the birdies. Now, if you get in trouble here, you can bail out with your second shot down the left, which is the 4th fairway. That's one other option of playing this par 5. But a good tee shot, and you can certainly go at this for 2.
Nice long tee shot there, and a good lie, Frank. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is gone.
Frank in a bit of trouble here at the par 5, missing the green on that third shot.
Yeah, just battling to make par. And this is going to be difficult.
Fourth shot, wants to get this close. Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Locked in on the read and the speed.
Tough break.
That's how you keep a round going. Make them from that distance. Frank, the 15th here at the old course, just a classic example of links golf, where you might be aiming for something that isn't even on the golf course.
Exactly. There's a nice line there in between the two humps that you can see in front of you off the tee. If you keep looking down, you'll see the church steeple. That's the perfect line for the tee shot. Got to be careful with the second shot coming up. You see the 16th tee and out of bounds to the right of this green, and that little pop bunker that protects the front.
Setting up for an approach shot here. This game will drive you crazy, Frank. You think you have it nailed, you're playing beautifully, and 6-7 holes later, you're lost.
Yeah, well, we're talking about this player at the start of the round. It looked like everything was where it should be, but really what's happened, inexcusable. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. He'll take par and move on. Frank, the 16th hole, there was a time in my life when I was in 4th grade, I would have really enjoyed hitting the principal's nose. But that's not a good thing here?
Well, I'd like to think you graduated past 4th grade, but and if you did, then you'd be very aware of the principal's nose. You'd hit it left, it'd be a little longer in for your second shot.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long, straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Down, little Sheba. Down! So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Pretty good shot right there. And getting ready for the putt.
Oh, good roll, good putt.
Frank, this is sort of bizarre. You're standing on the tee at the road hole, one of the most famous par fours in the sport, and you're aiming for a hotel?
Well, you're aiming over a series of letters. Let's say the Old Course Hotel. If you can hit it exactly over that U, then you will be in the right place, which hopefully is down the middle of the fairway. You avoid that heather on the left. That bunker up ahead, the road hole bunker. You remember David Duval? He got stuck in there. Years ago, Tommy Nakajima, he could hardly ever get that ball out, and in the end succumbed, I think, to double figures. So the hole has more than one way to trap you, so stay away from the road on the road hole.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Every once in a while you're reminded this is a pretty hard game.
That was evidence.
Not too unhappy with that, Frank, at 17 feet.
No, from that distance, it's more than good.
So close. That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. Just a couple of feet. In for a bogey. Frank, is there a more famous landmark in the sport than the tiny Swoken Bridge?
I think when you think of this game, the way in which we've followed it and covered it, Rich, over the last decade plus, no. It is just symbolic, not just with this golf course, but the game of golf itself, because every great champion has managed to make his foray across to Scotland and play the old course and walk across that bridge.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Solid play, heart of the green. Settles in over the putt. Always love to hear the sound of the bottom of the cup. So as we finish up here today, Frank, he has not had the best round, but I suppose that's golf, isn't it?
Yeah, he's not Robinson Crusoe. This golf course can drive many a man crazy. But the beauty of this game, you get up, dust yourself off, do it again.
And there'll be a next time for us as well, partner. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo saying goodbye for now.